Hello, and welcome to a new episode of the WINGFLATION podcast. This is Jack. I'm here joined, as always, by my co-host Bryan. We are coming to you on Wednesday night, right after the Wings finally got back in the win column with a win against the Toronto Tempo at home. Bryan, how's it going tonight, man?
Uh, it's going well. We finally got a win after what feels like. Honestly, I don't even count that Connecticut game when I think about our last win.
Hmm.
It feels like forever ago since this
Yeah.
team got a win, and I was just like, man, I don't want to yell afterwards. And wow, this is such a nice feeling. Also, you forgot to do the clap in the opening before.
What clap?
She always does, never mind. It's fine.
Yeah. The land, because I did the hilarious. I wasn't even thinking, but had to start out with that because she had a great game tonight. She's been playing really well lately. But yeah, like you said, Bryan, it's good to get a win because man, shit was dark for a while there. At the last 3 games before that, some of the just toxicity online, some of the just overall dark clouds surrounding the franchise. And I know I brought it up like last show. Like it's our fault because we started the podcast when things were good, when Paige looked like the best player in the world, and now we're in the muck. And we really needed this win against Toronto, who's lost 10 straight now, I think. So
yeah, 10 straight.
This would have been this was a absolute must-win game. They're banged up. They stink. They can't guard anybody. For a while, it looked like it was gonna go the way of that Sun game, where we were just kind of build a lead in the second quarter, kind of just cruise. Paige didn't want to play. It was just kind of like a cruise to an easy win. Didn't end up happening like that, did it?
No, I thought we were going to pull away a little bit sooner than we did. We built an 18-point lead.
We really, after we had that lead, we really never pulled away. Once they made a run in the second quarter and closed the gap, we really never could pull. Maybe we stretched it back out to double digits like one more time, but we never could just shut the door.
Right, and then it shrank all the way to, I think, 3. What about 4 minutes left in the game? 5 minutes left in the game? Probably 4 or 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, and from there, it was fairly close. Paige, thankfully, managed to put it away towards the end, and so I didn't have to think for too long about, man, this looks an awful lot like the end of the Atlanta game. I didn't have to think about that for too long, and that was nice because I was getting ready to pull my hair out.
Yeah, and the end of the Washington game too, where the clutch rolls around and they just short circuit, man. Like it's so funny because they were a good clutch team early in the season, so I feel like a little bit like the book's out,
Yeah, it's like, hey, if you don't get to like this empty side thing that you really want to get to, okay, we know you're going to swing the ball back to whichever big you have kind of standing in that above the break area, and they're either going to try and flow into a handoff or kick it to the opposite wing, go set a screen, and you don't really have anything behind that. It's like if you don't create an advantage here, it's, hey, whichever one of you has the ball, make something happen, please.
Yeah,
right now.
I'm so glad, man, Bryan. Like, I just like why I love talking hoops with you because it's like exactly what's in my mind. Like that I'm thinking that I can't even like I wouldn't even be able to like articulate that the same way you did. It's just like the Jose Fernandez offense when it's working really works with all the off-ball movement and dribble handoff action and cutting and that kind of like getting your bigs involved, like that really works when it works, but when it doesn't, it really fucking doesn't. Especially in clutch time when like Toronto has a horrible defense, but they were playing hard. They could smell like they were. That's a team desperate for a win, and they could smell a potential comeback, and so they were locked in and engaged on defense. They were sniffing out all the action that Dallas wanted to run. When it's like sometimes like when you see a good team operate in the clutch, whether it's regular season or whether it's especially playoffs. A lot of time it's simple. It's just high ball screen, get the matchup you want, and execute. And the Wings just don't do that. They just hardly ever do that. They prefer to get Paige the ball off, like out of off-ball action, whether she cuts back door, whether she cuts to the ball, whether she receives a dribble handoff after receiving the ball. So it's like when that kind of stuff gets snuffed out, things get bogged down, and then it becomes like late, like you said, late clock. Paige save us, Enrique save us, whatever it is, and that's just not a way to live.
And I mean, it's not like we get into that stuff particularly fast either. Like our
No.
tempo is usually, ironically, our tempo is usually pretty bad. Where okay, if that doesn't work, it's not like we've got 14 seconds left on the clock to try and figure something else out from there. No, you've got 8, and you've got to figure it out right now. Actually,
there's no sense of urgency, and like early in the game when we were scoring and having really good success on offense, like Jose said it in like the little interview between quarters where he said we're getting out in transition. And that's what the Wings want to do. If they can get out in transition, they can get stops. If they can get turnovers and run out in transition, everything is way easier. And then like when they have their half court reps, the defense isn't as used to guarding that action. But when you're constantly playing in the half court, it just becomes a little too predictable, which I think is why in these games recently we've struggled to close it out, because we make it too easy on the other team to know exactly what we want to do. And it's one thing if you're just creating advantages every time and you're doing simple actions that teams can't guard, but the way we're playing, we're just making it too easy on teams.
Yeah, and then you add on top of that, okay, we kick the ball to the big that's above the break who may be getting ready to flow into a DHO. At least if it's Jess, okay, maybe we're about to flow into a DHO. Actually, no, this is a fake DHO. I'm about to drive.
She can go get a bucket.
Right, exactly. Like she can attack a mismatch herself if need be, and then you have potential to, find an advantage to play off of between her and whoever it is she's running like a handoff or a screen and roll with. When like Lamb was awesome tonight, so you were actually able to get a little bit of that. But usually, if it's her or if it's a walk or if it's Lee, you usually don't have that option. It's like, hey, we're going to run, and you know we're going to run. If you stop us, great. We're hoping that you can't.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And going along those same lines, shout out to Lamb tonight. She was so sick, especially
she was our best player.
Half. She was our best player tonight, plus 20 tonight. Yeah. And you know, sometimes single game plus minus doesn't tell the whole story. That tells the whole story. She was so impactful. She did everything we've been wanting her to do all season. She didn't force anything. She took what the defense gave her. She took open threes when they were available. She cut hard. She finished at the rim when she got the ball off cuts. She played incredible defense. She got timely rebounds. Like she just did all the stuff that we envisioned when we gave her $3 million. You know, this was the Alana Smith experience that we've been waiting for. And like to her credit, she's been playing a lot better just as of late. But today it just kind of felt like, man, like this is what it can look like. She only 1 turnover to 4 assists. Like that's what we need.
Yeah, like the last couple games, this stretch has been like 10 games in the making. She's been slowly but surely rounding herself into form. Yeah, now she is just back to being the best defender on the team. She is back to being one of the better rebounders on the team. She is back to being someone that teams at least have to look at when she catches the ball above the break and there's nobody near, because she's going to pull it with confidence and she's not, you know, looking around like a Scooby-Doo villain trying to figure out where she needs to flow next, you know, looking for a DHO or something like that.
Right.
She was awesome tonight, especially in the first half. Like she and like the Paige playmaking, Enrique's getting downhill and getting the free throw attempts, a walk, like all of that, but like Lynn specifically, she carried us in the first half and we kind of had nothing against a bad team.
Yeah, Toronto's defense is an embarrassment. They ratcheted it up late. So credit to them for not giving up and playing harder in the second half, especially the fourth quarter. They ratcheted it up. But that first half, especially the first quarter, they were basically treating Lan like she wasn't on the court. They just forgot that she existed, which I get that she's been a bad offensive player this year, but she wasn't even doing anything crazy. She would like set a simple screen and then just float to the 3-point line, catch it. There'd be nobody within 10 feet and she'd take it. Or she would like, she'd be away from the action. She'd make the world's simplest cut, like the world's simplest dive cut to the basket, have time to catch the ball, take a dribble, put up no one even thinking about coming near her. So she kind of just, I think that helped her get into a flow where she was confident, you know, she saw the ball go in a few times, and that empowered her to, be aggressive with her opportunities when she got them. And I just love how she played under control. She still drives me a little crazy sometimes when she gets a rebound and then tries to dribble it up the court.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, I'm okay. Look, I know Jess can do that. Jess can do, but she's turned it over a few too many times in that situation. And not only does she turn it over sometimes, but even when she doesn't turn it over and she gets it across half court, it takes too long to get into the action.
Dude, just watch her dribble when she's running in transit. She doesn't look like she should have the ball if she's dribbling.
Because she shouldn't. And then, like, when she does cross half court, when Paige is or Enrique or Odyssey, whoever it is trying to come get the ball, the defense is like super swarming already because they know that they can pressure her and bother her. So it takes, like, we're not starting our play to, like you said earlier, like, we're not starting our play till there's like 11 on the shot clock. So it's like she needs to cut that out. But other than that, that's a very minor qualm for tonight. She basically played a perfect game, right?
Yeah, just about. Like, she was awesome. I thought Awak took great advantage of this opportunity that she got to finally start next to an actual big, right, who could play the 5 so she could play the 4 defensively, specifically.
Yeah. Right.
And, like, someone that she wasn't constantly having to cover for. I know that had to feel amazing for her. And yeah, watching the two of them really kind of be in a groove, especially from like the very beginning together, was really, really cool. Like, it was against Toronto, sure, but look, man, we'll take good performances.
I mean, Toronto has like decent bigs, like Nyara Sabli is very good. She just can't stay healthy. She just can't stay healthy. Isabel Harrison's been playing solid this year. She's just kind of a journeyman replacement level big, but she's been playing well this year. Anissa Moro's not good, but she plays hard, can grab rebounds. Temi is washed, played 10 minutes, didn't do anything. But they don't have like a stable of nobodies there in the front. Right. So it was nice to see both of them play really well. I know we've talked ad nauseum about the Awak stuff, and today's performance was so encouraging, but it also made me a little even more mad. It's like,
you just have this, especially now that Lance playing well.
Come on, man. And like, she wasn't doing anything crazy. She was catching her wide open threes and making them. She was cutting. She was being a roll threat for Paige, being a safety valve. She was playing great help defense. Like, all the stuff that she's been doing when she was playing well, she kept doing. And then even in the fourth quarter, he went away from her again. We were playing Lamb,
AC and
Maddie for most of it. And I know Maddie hit a couple big shots, but she was getting murdered on the glass.
They were mowing her down. It was real bad. Shout out to AC getting the one away from the ball, away from the play foul free throw.
Yeah, that was
pretty funny, where she just completely floundered and flopped like a fish. But
yeah, that was a really good grift. But we got killed on offensive rebounds, and part of that is I mean, Lan and Awak, they're both not the greatest defensive rebounders, but when you're playing Maddie Segrist clutch time minutes,
you don't give yourself a chance.
Against good athletic bigs and that they have, it's just not gonna work. So he went too long. Like, Maddie played decently on offense, and she hit some big shots, and I don't mind her playing in this game, especially with how thin our depth was. But he waited too long to put a walk in, and it damn near almost cost us the game, because during that stretch, that's when they cut it down to like 3-5 points multiple times. It was like, come on, dude. Like, can you not just go with what was working earlier? Like,
why would you do that?
Yeah. And what else happened? I mean, Paige in the first half was just so annoying.
She was pooch in the first half. It's fine.
And process-wise, it was just more of the same stuff that we've been seeing, where she's just not forcing the issue, where she's taking just really not good jumpers. Like, there's a difference between, like, she's obviously going to take a lot of jumpers all the time, but the jumpers she was taking in the first half were just kind of like, I guess I have to settle for this. She wasn't getting to her spot, attacking, and pulling up with confidence. She was kind of like, dribble. I guess I have a one-on-one favorable matchup, so here I'm gonna jack it up right now. She blew that layup, like that wide open layup too, and I was like, your head's not in the game right now. It was just,
she missed so many bunnies from like 13 feet too that she usually just cashes so easily. I was just like, yeah, man, you're not even in this game right now.
Yeah, and so that was upsetting to see. But then she came out in the second half, and only made jumpers, really, but she made them. But she had you could tell, like, when you watch the game, like, you could tell there was a difference in her intentionality and her the way she got to her spots, the way she attacked with the ball in her hands. Like, she was a lot more aggressive in the second half. 22 second half points, that's awesome. Some big buckets down the stretch. You look at the box score, like, you see 22, 3 and 8, 3 steals. You take it, but she's still not Paige Beckers right now.
No, yeah, this isn't like the P that I've come to expect. Like, there was definitely a flurry in there, like you said, in the second half, particularly in the third quarter, where it was like, okay, I'm coming off screen, I'm getting right to the nail, I'm pulling up. You can't really do anything about this. This is exactly where I want to be, Bob. You hit 1 or 2 of those in a row. It's like, all right, we start to come. Well, I think she got the 3 first that set things off, and then she hit a couple of middies.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay, so we're on our way now. That's fine. All I asked for at halftime was, hey, I need our scorers to score against this terrible defense. That's all I need. Like, Enrique had been doing fine, getting to the free throw line, and Paige was doing all right as a facilitator up to that point. But it's like, hey, we kind of, in this matchup, we really need y'all to score, because there's no excuse for you not to be able to with how poorly they're playing.
Or at the very least, I wanted to see a concerted effort to get going in terms of, like you saw that she's struggling, that she can't hit her shots, or she missed her open jump shots that she was getting. But so much of, even when she got going in the second half, was, again, like I said earlier, her catching, like, coming off a back screen, or just catching from an off ball position and attacking the defense from there. Which is that's a good, you should do that with her, because you leverage her great off ball skills. You catch the defense off balance. You don't have them they don't have time to set their defense and have, like, a game plan against her, which led to a lot of her walking into wide open middies, because she would come off the DHO, she would beat her defender, the big would be in drop, and if the big's in drop against Paige, she's going to shoot it, she's going to make it almost every time.
Right, exactly.
So that was good. The problem is that it takes a lot of work to do that. Like, you can't live that way on every possession. So I think what we've been talking about all season with her is we want to see her just get the ball, call for a screen, or if she has a favorable matchup, just attack one-on-one. Let the help come. Let the help come from the nail. Let the defense blitz you. Put yourself in those positions, and then somebody has to flash to the middle of the floor. Somebody has to create. The Wings never, and this is 2 years. This is 2 years that we've seen this against 2 different coaching staffs, where we never play out of 4-on-3 situations. And for a player in Paige who gets blitzed as often as she does in the pick and roll, it's just insane how we never play in those advantageous situations. What happens when Paige gets blitzed is she awkwardly dribbles away from it and then swings the ball to the wing. And she's done that every time. So she hasn't grown in her ability to beat the blitz. And we haven't forced the issue. We haven't tried to create a situation where, because guess what? If you manufacture those 4-on-3 situations and you score off them, they stop blitzing her. Like, how many times has Luka said, like, for the Mavs, like when we were watching Luka with the Mavs, how many times did he say, and he still says it now, like, I hope they blitz me. I hope they send 2 at me. I hope, like, this is how the defense went. And then it became clear, like, you can't do that with him. And that's how, I mean, I'm not saying Paige is going to be Luka, but, like, that's where we need some growth, because everybody wants more on-ball reps for Paige. Everybody wants that, right? Like, the off-ball stuff is great, but we want to see her become an off-ball killer who can dictate things when she has the ball in her hands and be a 3-level scorer. But that's not going to happen if every time that she runs a high ball screen, they can just blitz her, and then we have no advantage. Sorry, I know that was like a mini tangent, but, like, it was super noticeable in this game.
Yeah, and it's important because, like, you would think that you would be able to manufacture a lot of offense out of situations like that when you have Jessica Shepard and Enrique Agumbawale. How do you not, and like AC standing in the wing tackle, how do you not, like, consistently get great offense out of, situations like that where Paige gets blitzed, Paige gets doubled, whatever? You punt the ball right to Jess, who's standing. She's either flashing, like, to the nail, free throw line extended, whatever. She catches the ball. She can turn and go, and you have an advantage to play off of. And she's like a a slightly above average like playmaker where she can make plays out of that. She's good enough to do that.
And they have done some of that with Jess, but the problem is they're still having Jess catch it like on the wing or like free throw line extended instead of like in the middle of the floor where the defense has to crash, where they have to make a decision. Do we help off AZ? Do we help off Arike? Do we help off whoever's in the corner and crash to the roller who's going to make a play in the middle of the floor? Because if she's catching it at the 3-point line or on the wing, you give the defense time to reset, to scramble.
Yeah, because they know she's not shooting it there.
Yeah, because she can't shoot. So it does no good. And like when Jess isn't playing, it's tougher because there's not really a strong outlet threat who can set the screen, who you trust to make plays with the ball in her hands. Part of the reason why I really wanted to draft Alafam, because you cannot blitz Paige if she's setting a ball screen and rolling to the middle of the floor, because it's going to be an easy basket every single time if you do that. So I want to see more of that. And I think that because in these games like this where she struggles to get going, it's tough when you're relying on her to get all her points off of off-ball action, because it's too difficult to consistently manufacture offense that way.
Yeah, I would like to see a bit of a shift in what we're doing, especially late in the game, like you mentioned earlier. How we're getting Paige the ball, when we're getting Paige the ball, where, what spots exactly, what kind of matchup she's facing, like what specifically we are trying to attack that the other team either does well or doesn't do well with what she can do. Because Paige is so versatile. You could get her the ball at pretty much any spot of the floor. And as long as you get her a decent matchup, she's probably got like a pretty good chance to,
if she wants to,
get a good shot. If she wants to. Like, that's kind of the big thing. You know what? Actually, I'm glad you bring that up. There was a play late in the game. And this is the play that actually made me start to think, oh man, this feels a lot like the Atlanta game. This is starting to get spooky. Where Paige had the ball on the left wing also, I believe. She kicked it to, this had to be, no. She had the ball on the right wing. She was in sort of like a pseudo ISO situation. Clock was ticking down. You know, we taking forever to get into whatever play we were running at the time. There were like 11 seconds left, 10 seconds left. She just kind of dribbled in place, didn't really get anywhere. And then she looked over, swung the ball right to Arike on the left wing. And Arike was like, okay, I guess I'll like drive and try and create something here. Yeah. And it's like, Paige, why are you giving the ball up in that situation?
Right.
When you have a decent matchup, there's still plenty of time on the clock. You can just go and create something, or just like put up a shot and we won't kill you for it. Just shoot the ball, right? And then when you don't do that, and you put your teammate in a situation where she's kind of got a grenade ISO possession that she's got to create out of now. And it's like, dog, we've been doing this for like 3 weeks now. What's going on? And thank God she came down and she hit the shot to ice the game after that. But it's like, oh man.
If not, it could have got scary. And I think that's the biggest problem with the Jose Fernandez offense and with the system that we're running in general, is that we do the same shit all the time, no matter who we're playing against and the game situation. Like, you need to have a little more. I think you brought that up in your point just now, where it's like, not all teams are the same. There are certain weaknesses with different defenses that you can exploit. You can't attack everything the same way all the time, especially when you have a player as dynamic as Paige Beckers, who can hurt you in so many ways. I need to see a little more creativity on a team-to-team and situation-to-situation basis. And because there's no excuse for this, and this is the number 5 offense in the WNBA. There's no excuse for this not to be a top 2, top 3 offense with the talent that we have offensively. So that's something I'd want to see going forward, and especially in the clutch, because there was no need for this game to be close in the end. Anything else from this game? I mean, it was kind of a crazy, back and forth. Not really back and forth, but we were just hanging on for most of it, and it sucks to see Zaza go down like she did.
Kiki as well.
Kiki, I think Kiki's okay because she came back.
Yeah, they said she's okay. Like, she wanted to come back into the game, and they said no.
They said we've lost 10 in a row. You're our star rookie. Take the rest of the night off. Zaza didn't look great. Didn't look like non-contact though. So hopefully it's just a sprain or a bad bruise or something.
Something fairly simple.
Yeah, she wasn't playing very well, tonight. Sucks. I really would like to see her, I hope she's healthy so she can just start to maybe find some level of consistency or just find how she can succeed in her role. I don't know what to do with her anymore. But yeah, once she went down, especially, we just didn't have many bodies to throw out there. The Odyssey Sims experience today was
it was fun for exactly 5 minutes.
Yeah, we got the whole thing. It was really funny because like I tweeted post game when they put the lineup out. I was like, I know like we're down AZ, we're down Jess, we're shorthanded. Like she's gonna start. I knew she was gonna start, but I'm just like I'm so sick of it, dude. I'm just so tired of watching her. She's not the kind of player. Especially, I mean, she had a good career. Like, she used to be a really good player. So this is like obviously current Odyssey Sims. I just don't like watching her play. And then she played really well in the first quarter. Hit a couple threes, which I mean that's. Whatever. Sometimes she'll hit threes. She's not a good shooter, but sometimes she can hit open threes. But she made some really nice passes. She ignited some things in transition. So it was like, okay, all right. I'll take the L here. I'll step back. Shout out to Odyssey. I mean, she's playing Toronto, who's a young, bad team. Maybe this is a good spot for her. Nope.
She hit one more three and did literally nothing else for the rest of the game. And I was like, honestly, I'm not even mad at you, Odyssey Sims, because this is what I expected.
I was a little mad at Odyssey Sims. I'll be honest with you. I was a little mad. There was one play in particular where Paige had just gotten it going. Like Paige had just hit like 3 shots in a row. She was feeling herself. And then she like attacked and the defense collapsed. And so she kicked out to Odyssey, who attacked a closeout. And then the defense collapsed on Odyssey. And Paige relocated beautifully and like had a wide open 3 and Odyssey instead threw up a horrible contested shot between 3 people. And I was like, and like sometimes some of the stuff she does in transition too, like where she stole the ball, which is great. And then she'll drive down the court and she thinks that she's way
Russell Westbrook,
more athletic. Like when she's Russell Westbrook, like whatever. And she attacks the rim and it's just like a disaster. I can't do it with her anymore. The fact that she has to matter is a indictment on Kurt and Greg, because they signed her to be the backup point guard, really. Like she's not supposed to be like this end of bench depth piece, which is honestly what she should be at this point in her career. But the fact that she has to matter and that she has to play 30 minutes, and obviously with AZ playing, she wouldn't play 30 minutes, but with AZ healthy, she was playing when she came back,
Yeah, it's just unfortunate because I talked up Zaza a lot before this game, and I was a bit disappointed by her performance. I hope that, like you said, she is fine. It was just a bit of a tweak, and maybe something that was going to keep her out for this game, and she'll be ready for the next one, and she'll be able to play a bit better, like she did in the previous game, where she was able to get downhill a lot, get to the free throw line a lot, and really help us out in that way. But I thought even like the Shug minutes are usually a lot steadier than what we get from Odyssey. So
Shug doesn't do anything, but at the same time, she doesn't do anything.
Yeah, like complimentary and derogatory.
Exactly. Like she just kind of exists on the floor, and every once in a while she'll make a nice pass, or she'll hit a shot, or she'll get a steal. She's definitely better on defense than Odyssey, who is just the offense. I only talked about the negative offensive stuff with her today, but the defense, especially in that fourth quarter when Marina got hot, was
that one play where I don't know if she got screened. I think she got screened, and she and whoever the big was in that screening action both ran to the paint and left Marina wide open. And I'm like, Odyssey, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's
the only player on the team that can't get hot right now.
She has the unique ability on defense of just like not being quick or big enough to stay with good ball handlers, but also just being a bad like Spacey. Overall space cadet-y, like off-ball defender. So it's just you can't guard with her on the floor. She ruins everything on defense. Like it doesn't matter who you have on the floor. If she's on the floor, you're gonna get exploited in some way, shape, or form. So that was annoying. But she did have that good first quarter, so I guess credit to her for that.
Shout out to Arika. I think she had 14 free throw attempts in this game.
Oh my god, yeah. I can't believe we haven't mentioned Arika yet. Like this was a game where she didn't have her shot going.
No. Her
jumper
bad.
Her jumper was busted as hell. 0 for 5 from 3. couldn't get her pull-up midi going. 14 free throw attempts.
That's how you do it, man.
13 of 14 from the line. That will play every night. That is a beautiful sight to behold. And I think that like we talked about earlier in the year or earlier on in the podcast, like that's what she's been doing. She has genuinely committed to getting downhill and getting downhill in good getting downhill possessions. Like she doesn't just take the ball and willy-nilly attack the paint, recklessly. She's picking her spots and reading the defense and exploiting the gaps and aggressively taking it to the rim, finishing it at an improved rate and getting to the line. And it's just, I'd love to see that because somebody on this team desperately needs to.
Yeah, like she was playing garbage woman on like all of these plays that the initial action got blown up and we didn't really have any recourse. We just swung the ball to Enrique and it was like, please make something happen. And she was able to get into the teeth of the defense, get fouled a couple times. And yeah, she just kind of had that rolling all game. And it's like, okay, we didn't really have anything else reliable offensively. We could rely on Enrique catching the ball and be able to like kind of catch and go.
Yeah.
Because we'll get like a decent look at it. There's no guarantee it's going down, but we may also get some free throws out of it. So
yeah,
that was nice.
It's really nice. And it just, she's finally leveraging, like, she's a great ball handler. Mm-hmm. Enrique has one of the tightest handles in the league, and she's strong as hell. So I think that's, like, I know we talked about it before too, but like, I have to give some credit to the coaching staff for recognizing that in her and empowering her to do that and placing such an emphasis on it. Because it's like, we know you can be a tough shot maker, but like use those skills and go get to the line. Like we need you to. If Paige isn't going to do it and we know Azzy's not going to do it, then somebody has to get easy points to the line.
Yeah, I think I was told, shout out to a friend of the show, Zoe. I think she told me that this was either like the second highest win rate season of Enrique's career. This is definitely probably like one of the best or like top two free throw rate seasons of her career. Like, yeah, she's just, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But yeah, no, she was awesome tonight, particularly on that front. I thought she wasn't really doing a whole lot else, but like you said, she wasn't really out of character or playing out of the flow or anything like that. So she wasn't really disrupting anything. She just wasn't making open jump shots, but in every other way we needed her to provide things for us, particularly on offense, she was able to. So that was nice.
It really was. I just looked it up. Free throw rate wise, yeah, this is her best free throw rate season since her rookie season, where she she was peak athleticism, coming right out of college. She had a 323 free throw rate in her rookie year, and this year coming into tonight, she had a 304 free throw rate. So that's really, I mean, if you're doing something that you haven't done in 7 years, that's...
Look, it's like you said before, like, shout out to the coaching staff for like genuinely kind of rejuvenating her and possibly maybe even extending like the post-prime part of her career. Because it's like, hey, there's this role that you could really, really fill on like this team or potentially even another team that you may not have even given a second thought to before, but it's just because nobody really challenged you to change your game in this way before. And we're going to, and see where it takes us.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like when you have a Paige Beckers who demands so much attention, there are gaps to be had. There are gaps to take. So before, when you were the number one go-to scorer on the team, where you had to create everything for yourself and defenses had their entire game plans planned around you, you had to settle for a lot of tough shots because you lacked the just natural explosiveness and rim pressure ability to get downhill and just beat defenses that were keyed in to stop you. But when you're attacking the gaps and you are making plays after the defense is so keyed in on like the Paige and Jess action and stuff, there's stuff to be had. There's opportunities to leverage what you can do physically to get to the line. And yeah, tonight was just, we don't win that game without that. We don't come close to it.
Yeah, man.
So I think that's probably all there is to say about tonight's game.
Isn't that nice though? We got to like watch a game and like it was a win and we got to say nice things afterwards. Wasn't that cool?
Yeah, I mean, Marina's so annoying. I hate playing Marina, dude. She'll look
She's
like
so
absolute
good.
ass for large stretches of the game, and then she'll just start launching 30 off balance 30-footers, and that shit will just start going in.
She was
Like
awful for 3 quarters, and then just banged 3 straight threes, and it was like, all right,
and like
man,
I
whatever.
almost can't just like yeah, they had a couple possessions where Odyssey got lost, but it's like some of the defense was like fine, but she just
hit it anyway.
when she hits that shit, there's really nothing you can do. That was
No.
so annoying. I hated that shit so much. I think we're done with her for the rest of the season too, which would be good. Shout out Kiki Rice. Before she went down with the ankle injury, she looked fucking awesome.
Yeah, man.
She had Paige in hell too in the first half.
Oh yeah, a couple of those post ups were like pretty ugly. Like she got on the step through a couple times. I was like, ooh.
Kiki Rice is bigger and stronger than you think.
Yes.
And Paige found that out in the hard way today. I'm looking at the box score again. Like this is the second. I feel like this is the second game, maybe the third game. I can't remember if she did this in one of the other and both other games we played. Yuskaita kicked our ass again today.
Yeah, 18-7, I think it was something like that.
Yeah, and thank God I have her in fantasy, so that helped me out a little bit with that. But she, oh my God, dude, like she's had a way better season than anybody could have predicted. I think with her coming over from Lithuania, but. Again, she is the kind of player that gives our roster fits because she is a wing-sized player who can do things with the basketball. So,
every time.
So against the wings, that player's like if you have a player like that, or if you are like a betting person and you're looking to make a bet on a game involving the Dallas Wings, like look and see if they have a player 6'2" or higher who has a pulse with the basketball, and they're probably going to go off. So that was annoying to see. Didn't she like hang 30 on us last time we played or something like that?
I feel like she did. No. You know what? Because Marina had 34. I think she had 20 something though. Like I think it was the two of them that were really giving us fits.
She had 25 in that last game we played.
And thankfully, Paige and Enrique like were absolute ass kickers in that game.
Yeah.
And AZ, I think, also chipped in like 13. Like, because if they hadn't, that was going to be ugly. Marina hit like 6 threes.
Yeah, that was her career high, and still remains her career high, that 25. So she sees the wings and she just goes crazy. So shout out to Laura for doing that. Get some wings. Figure that out.
There's so much like that. I look at this team now and I'm just like, okay, we're kind of out of this skid, hopefully we're out of the woods. You beat up on a bad team. That's what you're supposed to do. That's fine. We're trying to build towards, this final stretch, getting ready to go into the playoffs. But even now, I'm kind of just like looking past that to, okay, what do we do this offseason to like get Jose to a place where he is a bit more flexible with his lineups, maybe, and a bit more flexible with how he doles out minutes, and is a bit more forgiving of, some mistakes or some bad short stints or whatever. And, what do we do to get Lan to the point where it's like, okay, she is back to kind of the player that we brought her in to be. What is the next step for her now that she's kind of gotten back to that point?
Yeah.
What's the next, step in development for Paige? What is going to happen with Enrique this summer? Are they going to pull the trigger on that? Is there going to be a trade there? What's the next step in development for AZ in terms of, being like a secondary ball handler? Is it working more on her, like actually becoming an on-ball defender? What like I'm looking forward to some of these things already, and I'm trying to like pick out some things to watch between now and the playoffs.
You're right, and I think the reason those thoughts are starting to trickle in is because right before this game, that 3-game stretch just sort of kind of made us be honest about what was in front of us. Since the All-Star break, we just haven't looked very good, but that 3-game stretch, especially that Washington game, man, that Washington game was just
which one?
Well, the most recent one, the one on Wednesday. So I was out of town.
Oh yeah, the Cody McMahon
I went to
game.
go. I went to a wedding and hung out with some friends in Oregon, and I was in Portland. I just flown in that Wednesday, and my friend and I weren't doing anything, so we got to watch the whole Washington game, and for a while it was like, oh my gosh, like this is great. Like we see the vision now, and like Lan was playing so well, and Jess was playing well, and it was like, oh my God, like you can kind of see back to the early parts of the season where when this thing is working, it's working, and
built up that big lead.
And then the second half, especially that third quarter stretch where he put those stupid fucking Lee Yuru Odyssey Sims minutes to close the quarter, where they rattled off an 11-0 run in instant.
Genuinely the fastest 8 points I've ever seen that were directly one player's fault.
Exactly.
That was entirely Lee's fault, that whole run.
Yes. And then it was just a choke fourth quarter. Just couldn't stop the bleeding. Shakira Austin put us in the contraption. Clutch shots were hit. Cody McMahon got her game off.
When Cody McMaga was like killing us, I was like, all right, brother.
Again, wing size, but she's not even wing size. Like, she's a little undersized for a wing, but she's just strong as fucking hell and athletic. But like, wing sized player who can do some stuff with the ball. Scored 18, career high, got her game off, hit clutch shot after clutch shot. Ridiculous. Like, just insane, absurd, disgusting, whatever you want to call it. I was so repulsed.
And don't forget the actual like wing size player. Like Sonya also hit like 2 incredibly clutch baskets after being an ass most of the game.
Because she just decided she was going to go to the rim.
Yeah.
And we couldn't do anything about it.
What a novel concept.
Yeah. And so then it was the Valkyries game was after that. I did not get to watch a second of the Valkyries game. I was in the wilderness. I was in the woods at a destination campground wedding. And I was having a great time not paying attention to the wings. I had no cell service out there. I was completely at the bliss of ignorance when it came to the Dallas Wings. So, and then like I saw the score later on and I was like, should I go back and check that game out? Should I go back and watch it? I'll be honest with you, I didn't.
That was the one game this season that I have not seen, and I have zero plans to watch.
Yeah, I basically said
didn't miss anything.
I know how this game went.
Yep.
I know I can just take a look at the box score and kind of know exactly how this went down. So not great podcasting, not great Wings analysis here to just basically say we can just not even talk about that game and toss it in the trash. But I mean, we can't match up with the Valkyries. Really, they're too athletic. Their defense is too good. AZ didn't play in that game, right?
No, yeah, she's been out for I think this was her third straight game that she's missed.
So I mean, without AZ to open up the floor, there's just no way we were going to win that game. So
right, exactly.
I should probably still check it out later just to gather some data and whatnot.
I might as we're getting ready for the playoffs, maybe, but no time soon.
We could match up with them. If shit keeps going.
God, don't make me think about that, please.
And then speaking of people we don't want to match up with, we played Minnesota after that, which was just basically we fought harder in that Minnesota game than we had maybe last time we played them for a while until it all fell apart in the fourth quarter. But it basically went how you'd expect the Minnesota game to go. Minnesota was kind of playing with their food for a lot of the game. Yeah. They weren't taking us very seriously until they had to. And then Kayla McBride, 43 points.
Yeah, it was like – so what's funny about that game, I was waiting. I was like, okay, which one of these 4 like all-star level players is just going to decide to just like fry our faces off? And I was watching. I'm like, okay, Court's playing fine, but it's not going to be Court. It doesn't seem like she's having that kind of game. Liv is kind of doing a thing, but she's going through the motions. It doesn't
Liv going through the motions had like 22 and 13 or something crazy like that.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I said that going to like, I think the last 3 minutes of the second quarter or whatever it was.
Yeah.
K-Mac has started to hit some shots. I'm like, okay, Mac is probably going to give us a problem. And if we keep like leaving her open, especially in transition, and boy, did we, she's probably going to like fire our faces off. Fee, I was just like, if she gets it going, it's GG's. It doesn't really matter what anybody else is doing because we have nothing for her. And it was Mac. And I looked up and I said, what do you mean she has 6 threes made already? And we're like just out of halftime. Right. And then all of a sudden it was Liv. Hey, here's also 3 more made threes for you in case you were feeling like you were about to get back into this game.
Yeah. And I do think that while, like we've talked a lot about like AZ's problems defending point of attack and on ball, like you definitely miss her in that game, being able to chase K-Mac around screens, being able to stay with her off ball on cuts, whatever, like relocating. But I don't think with how she looked on Sunday, like I just don't think there was any way that we had the facilities to stop her from doing what she was going to do. That's why Kayla McBride's, in my opinion, I think in my opinion, the best shooter in WNBA history. If not, she's right up there in the top 2 to 3. She's such an amazing shooter. Her confidence, her mindset, her ability to shoot off the dribble and off the catch, like she's just so fucking. I love Kayla McBride, so I couldn't even really be mad about what she was doing to us.
It was nasty to watch, but it's like this is just kind of one of the best to ever do it, just being left alone.
Yeah.
And, and like left in her own space, just catch the ball pretty freely and like put it up. So
God, that Minnesota team, they have to win the title this year. They just have to. Like they just I don't see how they don't. Like unless Asia just.
I was gonna say if Asia just goes like back to destroyer of worlds, Asia, then maybe.
And if you get playoff Chelsea Gray one more time, if Jackie shoots 50% from 3 in the series, then maybe the Aces could scam it. But the Lynx are winning the title this year. I'll put my declaration on that. I'll put my money on the line for the Lynx winning the title.
It would be a cursed result though.
What's that?
Like if we just get a complete nuclear series from Caitlin, Kelsey, and AB.
Yeah, I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
It would be so nasty, given everything. But like Kelsey and AB have been so good this year, and Caitlin is like rounded back into form. Like,
Indiana's a problem, and we play them twice in the next 3 games. So
the best offense in W history.
Yeah,
twice in a week.
So we will. We'll see how that goes. I mean, the first time we played them was the first game of the season, right? So,
man, you talk about a banger. That was,
yeah.
God, take me back.
We'll see how that goes when we have to. Both of us are much different teams than the last time we played them, and hopefully we get AZ and Jess back, or else that shit's cooked, or else we have no chance.
Yeah, it's a wrap. We can't score with them without those two.
No, we can't run with them, especially the way Caitlin's playing right now, man. Like that's tough, dude. So. Yeah, we'll look forward to that, I suppose. Only other thing I wanted to bring up real quick, and this is just I don't want to spend too much time on this because it doesn't matter, but some of the just online discourse and stuff that's been going on the last few days with the team being in a bad way. Of course, when the team is playing bad, this stuff is always going to come to the forefront, and especially when given the unique situation that our team has with its online footprint, it's some of that going around, but there's just some crazy stuff going on with people like Grant of Dallas Hoops or Dallas Hoops Journal. Grant Afseth, who's our friend of the show, good guy, been working in the Dallas media space for a long time, stepping away from Wings coverage due to multiple death threats that he was getting and he didn't even say anything, like from these threats were from people who are ostensibly like fans, stands, supporters of AZ Photo, whatever it is. Like, obviously, people who are taking things to the extreme. But he's just dealing with a lot of harassment. He was dealing with a lot of harassment. I talked to Grant as well. Like he just doesn't want to deal with it, which I totally get. It sucks though because Grant just was putting in work that nobody else was doing. He was going
traveling all the road games.
Dude, this guy is doing this on his own dime too.
That's the thing.
Part. Like he's going to these games and he's putting in the work. He's asking better questions than anybody else in the media. He's doing actual basketball analysis. He's doing film breakdowns. He's doing interviews. He's doing clip recordings of practice. He's doing things that nobody else was doing.
Right up pre and post game, no matter what happened. Yeah.
And for him to walk away and to decide like this isn't worth it for him anymore, that just sucks. It's a big loss. Because who's going to step up and take that mantle? It's something that we need more of that kind of thing. And guys like us, we're doing the podcast thing. We're right a little bit at Mavs Moneyball and stuff, but it's like, we don't have like the wherewithal or the resources or the time with our jobs and stuff to be able to
like really cover the team the way that he was.
And most people don't, and especially with the WNBA media landscape, right? Like, still not being enough investment in people who can actually be like, there are not enough publications that have like a designated beat writer for the Wings or who have like at the local or at the big outlets like the ESPNs, the Bleacher Reports, whatever it is. Like there's just not the investment yet. Even though we're getting there, we're not there yet. So what Grant was doing was really unique and really rare. And it just sucks that I'm not speaking. I know that there was a lot of response to this where it was like, well, that's just like fringe people that don't represent like this fandom at large. Man, I get that, but at the same time, like the well's been poisoned, with the discourse out there, and I've engaged too much with it myself, and I'm guilty of this because it's when you're on social media all the time, it's very difficult to get away from that. So it just sucks that this has been like a continued side plot since basically we drafted Paige. And it's good that more people are tuning into the games and more people are becoming fans, but I just wish that this kind of thing could end,
Yeah, it would be nice to have like the more toxic parts of this. I don't even want to say like this fan base, because a lot of this genuinely is not like the Wings fan base.
It's a completely different,
stand pockets, right?
Yeah.
Like that make things difficult, like make certain conversations, really any conversations on certain topics or certain players, anything like that, pretty much untenable to have in like an online public forum, which is weird because that's supposed to be the fucking point of this thing.
Right.
It's how we're supposed to be able to just like get online and with the click of a button, like a couple taps, be able to talk about basketball with like someone like a whole world away. That's supposed to be like the magical, really cool thing about internet connection over sports, particularly.
Yeah.
Right.
And on the other side of it, it's like, the AZ fan base, the AZFC, whatever you want to call it, they have constantly been mobilizing to tear down anybody who doesn't agree with their opinion that AZ is a superstar, that she was the obvious number one pick, that she can do no wrong. And they've created this agenda that she's like persecuted against by everyone, that everyone is out to get her, that everyone hates her, that everyone wants to see her fail. Why? We don't know. And they hide behind like this, oh, well, there's all this, she gets homophobia and she gets all the stuff about, her and Paige's relationship, and it's not fair, and people don't want to see someone like her succeed. And like, yeah, has there been bad faith actors who are far right grifters or just racists or homophobes or whatever it is who will say stuff? Yes.
Yeah.
But that is a big difference between that happening and people who have been Wings fans for a long time or Wings media who are just sharing opinions about basketball. So like those are two way different things, and everything's conflated into like one narrative. So like if you say something negative or critical about AZ, all of a sudden it's conflated with all the other like fringe stuff, And so that's the response to like this situation with Grant. That's what has been the response to that. Was like, well, nobody said anything when AZ was under all these attacks. It's like, I'm pretty sure if you asked AZ, just about her general experience as a professional athlete and whatnot, she would just say like, I'm having a great time. I'm having a good rookie season. I love my teammates. Like where is this whole conspiracy of everyone hating her coming from? That's the thing I don't understand.
Yeah. And it's like if you're seeing these things, because I actually saw, so like I had an interaction today and I tried to like engage in good faith with like some of the people who were like swarming my tweet about what was it? I think it was Christian who mentioned something about like what Marina was going to do in the game because AZ wasn't playing and like downplaying her impact and stuff like that. And I responded to that because like there was a part of it I thought was pretty questionable, considering AZ played in the last game where Marina, pretty much got off pretty well.
Just that's a basketball discussion,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it circled around to like something in the world of what you're talking about like, blah, 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 the hate that continues to come for and things like that. And, all these nasty things that are said like to or about her. And I saw some people post like some actual tweets where it's like, yeah, people saying like some pretty nasty things. It's like, hey, why don't you like focus more on this thing and like talk about these people who are actually doing this? Because guess what? I agree with you. The homophobic things that people say like when it comes to like her, or when it comes to like Paige, or their relationship, whatever it may be, right? The really weird things that people could tend to say about AZ online, because she is like a fairly pretty girl, right? Who is like also a celebrity and like a public face, right? Like those things are also weird. I guarantee if you ask most of the people who are in this fan base that you're constantly swarming, if they have like a reasonably critical point to make about AZ as a basketball player, they'll tell you, yeah, that shit is gross.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that either.
And even when she got drafted, and there was even some Dallas media people who were moving unfairly, like the Tim Kolashaws of the world, who were basically trying to put her and Paige on the spotlight of like, tell us about your relationship, tell us about wasn't that a huge factor in the decision though? Like the people deserve to know. It's like we both stood 10 toes against that. We both were like, this is crazy. Like whatever their reasons for drafting her was, this is like by far the least interesting and least important angle about it, you know?
Yeah.
So like, again, I'm tired of sharing my thought because she's an important player for our team. She's very important. We drafted her #1 overall. It was our last big asset that we had team building wise to add a future star. Because of that, she's very important. The way she plays is going to be put under a microscope. It's going to be analyzed. It's going to be talked about. There's going to be regret. I didn't want to draft her. I'll be honest with you. I did not want to. Like I will say that, straight up, and I'll continue to say that I did not want to draft her. I had 3 players that I wanted to draft instead of her on my board. I stand by that. I think that's going to look really good in time, and it already looks pretty good. It's going to continue to look good. So I'm not backing away from that. That does not mean I'm rooting for her to fail. That does not mean I'm obsessed with her being bad and obsessed with being right. I don't care about that. More than anything, I would love for her to become a star and to thrive in Dallas. And I'm tired of talking about that and getting met with like, oh, you're so weird about her. You're so whatever. After the Washington game where she got scored on to end the game and she played very poor defense to end the game.
She's had a rough overall game.
Which again, the AZFC, whatever it is, they've been pushing her for all defense. And I've been pushing back against that. Not because I wouldn't like to see her make all defense. If she made all defense, that'd be cool. A player on my team makes all defense. I don't want to see that. But I think that's creating an unreasonable expectation based on what I've seen. Right? So I don't think that she's all defensive quality. I don't think that she's been an all defensive caliber player this year. And I was mad at her when she gave up that bucket to end the game. So yeah,
that was the bucket to Cody McMahon, right?
Yeah, I'm like that sucks. Yeah. Like I get you can get frustrated with players on your team. It happens all the time. Welcome to being a sports fan. You know what I mean? That's just kind of how it goes. So I tweeted something like, "Oh, like this is like your all defensive player, huh? Like this is like what it looks like." And everybody was like, "They got hate her. This is weird. This is creepy." And then I had a separate conversation with the mutual where I was like, because of the bad way that the Wings were in, I started to think, okay, let's turn our attention to the 27 draft, because at this rate, we're either going to be the 8 seed or we could even fall out of the playoffs if another team gets really hot. So let's take a look at, like I've been obviously like I'm a draft person. I've been obviously like keeping a close eye on the 2027 draft for a long time, but I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, like if we're like in that 8 to 9, 10 range, like what if Tessa Johnson's just like the best player on the board? What if she's the best player? And like, oh, what if you drafted Tessa? Because you can't have Tessa and AZ. Just would be stupid. It'd just be like
no, exact same role.
They played the same role. So I was like, what if you just drafted Tessa and you traded AZ for assets? And that's another way you can get some more bullets in your chest. And again, people acted like I said the craziest shit you could ever imagine. That like comparing AZ to Tessa or suggesting that you could trade AZ and bring in Tessa was like the craziest thing.
It acted like you dropped her in a fucking volcano or something.
Yeah, and indicative of some other hate narrative that I have her because I hate her and I want to see her fail and I'm obsessed with her. It's like, that's, guys, like, first of all, Tessa Johnson's really good at basketball. Second of all, I'm not saying that Tessa Johnson is better than AZ Flood at basketball. AZ is a better player, straight up, no doubt about it. She is better. If I'm choosing between the two, I'm easily choosing AZ. She is a better off-ball mover. She's a better cutter. She's a better finisher at the rim. She's a better defensive playmaker. She's a better overall defender. Like all these things. But I'm just saying, offensively, they play the exact same role. They have the exact same strengths, the exact same weaknesses for the most part. Like if you swap them out, at least on offense and overall, probably just as a whole, I don't think you lose a ton. And then if in this hypothetical situation that I made up, that I'm not even advocating for as like the only way forward, I'm just saying like in that situation, you could recoup assets if you were to decide to move off AZ in the trade for whatever.
Right. You do the same thing as like people like me who suggested, okay, I would prefer Awa or Olivia or even like to a lesser degree like Kiki in this draft. But if you're smitten with AZ, move back a couple of spots, get an extra asset, and then you take this player that you're in love with and you think fits really, really well with your best player, and then you get an extra asset in the chest to go and get a wing that can fit between the two of them and really make this thing work, right? Like that makes it a lot easier as opposed to trying to do it the way that we're doing it now.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, these are just basketball conversations. This is all about us wanting the Wings to win and be a good team and build a championship contender around their generational superstar, Paige Beckers. That is all that is on my mind. That is the only thing that I want to see happen. And the fact is, because of where AZ was drafted and because of the pick that we made, she is a crucial character in that puzzle. She is, and so she's going to be talked about. She's going to be talked about. She's going to be talked about by a lot of people, and people are going to have a lot of takes. If you are going to harass and DM and threaten and gang up on people for when they have criticism and valid basketball takes, then this just may not be for you. And it's becoming everyone else's problem now. With this thing with Grant. Like, again, I'm not saying that everyone on AZFC is going into people's DMs and sending death threats. I know that's not the case. I know a lot of this group is young. I know that a lot of this group is very online, and I know a lot of this group is following sports closely for maybe the first time. I respect that. I want more people to follow basketball as much as possible, and I think that it's great that more people and more young people and more demographics that typically don't follow the game are following the game.
Right.
That being said, just don't be an insane person. Like,
it's the only ask. Just be sane.
And again, on my side of it, I need to do a better job about not engaging with that kind of thing and not getting swarmed up in the discourse of it all. And honestly, this is the 4th podcast we've done. I think this is the first time we've ever actually talked about this, but it's been going on for over a calendar year at this point.
Yeah.
And the only reason I'm bringing it up now is because this thing with Grant really sucks. And it kind of just brought this into the conversation, like the cultural conversation around the team, right? Because it's starting to affect how we actually consume the game. So it just sucks. So I'm imploring you. I know everyone who hates me and who whatever, like, is probably not going to listen to this podcast, certainly not going to listen to an hour of this podcast. But if you are listening, I don't hate AZ. I don't hate you even necessarily, but I just want to talk about basketball and not get caught up in the muck. So that's my piece on that. I don't know if you have anything else to say about it, Bryan, but I feel like it just had to be addressed.
The only thing I'd like to add to what you said is I'd like to point out a few people who are in the space who, while aren't quite stepping up to fill Grant's shoes specifically in the specific ways that he was covering the team, right? Some people that you should probably look out for if you still want good quality Wings coverage, right? Drake Keeler, really nice guy. I met him, very importantly, at a home game. He attends home games and actually goes and watches the team. And then he reports and he writes about them for, I believe it's for the 9 now.
Yes, shout out to the 9. The 9 full of friends of the show. Fantastic women's basketball content on the 9. You should read everything they do. The GOAT, Hunter Cruz, Emily Adler, Lincoln Schaefer, all over there. If you're not reading and following the 9, you should. That's an absolute must.
Mm-hmm.
And they got Drake too now. They were smart.
Yeah, Drake for wing specific coverage, right? Drake Keeler, the new beat person for Dallas Hoop Journal. I believe her name is Natalia Sheldon.
Yes,
I saw her tweeting about the game during this game today, and gave her a follow. Give her a follow. I'm pretty sure she's going to be tweeting a lot about the Wings going forward. Please be kind to her. Let's please be normal. Let's not run off anybody else in this space. Shout out to her. Matt Martinez from Mavs Moneyball, obviously our guy. He is not online very smartly, but if you want to check out his writing, go on Mavs Moneyball and check out his writing. Because he writes really well about the team.
Matt Martinez has it all figured out. He's not on Twitter. He doesn't post. He's not on social media. He goes to every single home. He lives like 5 minutes from the stadium. So he goes to every single home game. He is a fantastic writer. He's very detailed. He cares about the team and his work. If you read his recaps or his pieces on the Wings on MavsMoneyball.com, they are always fantastic. So yeah, that's a great shout for our guy Matt.
Shout out to Martinez. Shout out to Gracie. She also writes for Mavs Moneyball and writes about the Wings from time to time. Shout out to her. Yourself, obviously. I wasn't going to leave you out of this.
I have not written in a while. I've been busy with life stuff, but I actually am working on something now that basically the genesis or the point of the piece that I'm working on now is Kurt Miller and Greg Bibb need to get out of this organization. Is kind of where I'm at because I'm tired of doing the same things over and over again. I don't trust these guys to build the team that we need to build. It's becoming more and more obvious as the days go by that they have no clue what's going on. So basically, this is just going to put it out there in writing, like in a public forum. Just whoever wants to read it, just be like, get these guys out of town.
Yeah, how much longer are we going to allow the Nico Harrison twins to, ruin the rest of the Paige Doncic tenure? You know what I mean?
Correct.
I would feel much more comfortable with the direction of this team if whichever direction it is that we choose, they're not a part of it, and we still have Paige Beckers and AZ Flood and all the core players on this team.
If we're keeping it a buck, any competent ownership group would look at what Olivia Miles has done so far this year, and the guys who
they would have been canned.
These guys would have been gone by the All-Star break. That's really because even if you don't know much about basketball, like I don't think Bill Cameron, who's the owner of the Wings, is like a hoops guru. But you can see it. Oh, like this player that you guys didn't draft is like doing things that no rookie in the history of the league has done.
Yeah, second in MVP.
Yeah. Maybe you guys don't need to be doing this anymore.
Man. Yeah.
That's kind of going to be the genesis of, or the idea that I'm going to write. So would like to write more about the team. Glad that we're doing the podcast now, getting it out there. I think that's all we got for the day. We talked for over an hour again. We just continue to get lost in the sauce, with this team. There's a lot to talk about with these teams. It's one thing the Wings never do is they always give us stuff to talk about. So, I didn't even see this. Jose had a statement in support of Grant after the game.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna have to.
Well, that was kind of it.
He said nobody should go through what he went through. That's
kind of boilerplate, but hey, you know what?
Well, that's the main takeaway. I haven't seen the whole quote.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say if that's all, I was like, okay, that's pretty cookie cutter. But you know what? That's still nice because he did.
For him to even acknowledge it, that's kind of cool. I think that's
yeah.
I'm sure people will have a normal reaction to that. But
oh, certainly, yeah, because they love Jose Fernandez.
Right. They love him almost as much as they love me. So, okay. Well, I think that's all. You got anything else before we get out of town?
No, man, I can't believe that was already an hour. It feels like we just started.
Yeah, hour and change too, man.
Look, I'll say it again, man. Like, I'm not gonna be. I promise you, I'm not this positive all the time, especially not in real life. But we just got to win for what feels like the first time in forever.
Yeah,
we got still not up to our standard, but a reasonable Page performance. We got pretty good performances from a lot of other players peppered throughout the lineup. We have some reasons for optimism right now. We have another tough handful of matchups coming up with the Fever twice, and then I believe Golden State packaged in there again, right?
Could be 0-3.
Yeah, it probably. But you know what? At this point, if we go 0-3 against those teams, I know we have like a melted butter soft end of the schedule that we can reel off some wins in and start to feel a little bit better, puff our chest out as we go into the playoffs.
You would hope.
Yeah, it's obviously not a guarantee, unfortunately. But
we haven't even touched on this really. I mean, I know we got to get out of here, but like the AZ knee injury. Yeah,
I'm starting to. I thought it was just like rest, like code for rest, the way that it was early in the season when it was quote unquote knee soreness, but it was just for a game. I am a little concerned that she's missed 3 in a row.
Yeah, and Jose being like, when Christian asked him about it today, was like, what's the deal with her knee injury? He was like, well, our medical staff's looking at it, sports scientists, front office, doctors, lawyers, firemen.
Everyone a lot of people. The
everyone in the world's like coordinated. Like great coordination. Like, why we're having like a
Yeah,
summit.
we have like a
You sworn in this?
yeah, like a UN meeting over like what? I'm like, man, I hope
And-
she's okay because
Yeah, and like you just look at her history of knee injuries, and you're like,
yeah,
I don't know, man. I'm not worried yet because she's been working out and practicing and stuff, but it's like I don't love it. So hopefully she can play Friday. Hopefully she's back. Hopefully Jess is back because if they're not back, we're not going to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, this stretch is going to tell us a lot. These next 3 games coming up because if we go 0-3, we're going to be right back in the trench. We're going to be right back in the gutter. We're going to be right back in the everything sucks category. But for now, enjoy this win today. Bask in the glow of taking care of business at home against a bad team. And we'll talk again next week and see how we fare with the first part of this onslaught coming up.
Oh yeah, yes sir.
Okay, I think that's all we got. So I'll talk to you guys next time. Thanks for listening if you made it this far, and we'll be back.
Peace, Wings fans.